So I know that, you were recommending the idea that if I were to a world or a story in RPG, I should build some kind of like a Gandalf character. I remember you saying that to me at one point.
That is exactly right. I did say that. I mean, obviously, you don't necessarily have to, but that's one of many ways you could approach it. That's another thing we could bring up in discussion, how we could go about with world building and all the intricacies of that. Yes, that would be great for a conversation. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because obviously, again, I guess also like this is like I could talk for 2 hours about this. We'll talk about Tolkien, but I guess like Tolkien and like the Lord of the Rings, like honestly one of like the literal best franchises like ever built.
Oh, yeah.
So like I feel like
Star
it's
Wars.
crazy. Like I want to watch them again. But
Hey, Star Wars is like one of the best franchise.
that's also true. Um,
Mhm.
well, it used to be, right?
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it still is.
I used to love Star Wars.
Right. Well, the thing is, no matter how bad things get, you always have that original trilogy and anything else you'd be able to like. Well, even then there's
Yeah.
a whole hodgepodge of what's considered canon, what isn't, about the legends and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so I guess I'll ask you what's your favorite Star Wars character?
Favorite Star Wars character. Now there's an interesting transition to conversation. My favorite Star Wars character. Um, I need to think about that. My first thought would probably be Yoda. Such an
Yoda's
imaginative
pretty
little
dope.
character. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be one of them, I would imagine, yes.
So I guess Ace, let me ask you, who was your favorite Star Wars character?
Okay, so my favorite Sith character has got to be Darth Maul. I just love that two-bladed sword and just the look of Darth Maul. My favorite Jedi would have to be Qui-Gon Jinn. I just wish they wouldn't have killed him off that early.
Oh
That,
I
yeah,
that,
guess it
that,
was the whole point of the story.
um,
yeah.
Yeah,
favorite droid would definitely have to be R2-D2. Hey,
what's not
let
to
me
love about R2D2?
let me go for a minute. I'll be right back.
All right,
So already we got conversation cues that could last for quite some time, as you can clearly hear.
there we go.
Oh,
Um, yeah. I feel like my favorite. I really like Obi-Wan Kenobi. So it's
uh,
like
it's a name I've not heard in a long time. Long time.
uh,
Yeah.
okay.
Fantastic
Uh,
stuff.
trying to think how to lead this or how to get going for sure.
Ah, yeah,
Um,
sure. Perfect, perfect, yeah.
okay. It's like I never plan what do you call it, an itinerary or something for it. Try to think. So I
Might
guess
be
okay.
right.
So I guess I've been trying to build a couple of these little RPG worlds.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to take off at all. Only one of them I really seem actually interested in. But so I built one for Fallout. I built one for like this Arthurian Pendragon world.
Oh
I
yeah,
built
that's
another one
right.
for Dune. So
Right.
I tried to come up with a couple different ones, but I don't know that much about Dune personally. So it's a little bit
Well, familiarity with the source material will definitely benefit you in regards to immersion and other stuff like that. I
yeah.
suppose if you're really going to go all in for Dune, you really need to understand the worldview of the authors in order to really understand the overall approach of the series. Now, of course, it is very much possible to interpret any kind of entertainment media from any particular lens. Um, In the case of Dune, it's from the perspective of this man who transitioned to secularism, but he took a position of recognizing that religion can be useful to control and to organize people. He didn't necessarily believe the supernatural was literally true, but he acknowledged that it could be used to guide people in practical ways for better or for worse. And he's just observing. He's basically an outsider. He approaches his storytelling like a reporter from the outside, just reporting how these different worldviews affect all these different characters. And so in the Dune series, there's various religious factions. There's the most prominent of them being the Bene Gesserit, this witch cult who are pulling the strings behind the scenes for their power game. Basically, almost all the characters are in it for power, basically. And the Bene Gesserit have the plans of, and there's a prophecy that they've set up, a false prophecy that involving a male Bene Gesserit figure who will free the Fremen, and they're using that to control the male Bene Gesserit. The question is Paul Atreides, and the way they use it, they have this power called the Voice, which is kind of similar to the Force. In fact, Dune was made before Star Wars, and you'll notice some similarities between Dune and the Star Wars if you're paying attention. There's some similar motifs. You'll even compare like one character power to like Jabba the Hutt, if he never got any sunlight, I guess.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing the Star Wars. I think it's called like Edge of the Empire, but I was trying to find something like a little bit more like attached to Christianity, some capacity. But
There are a few franchises, notably Tolkien's Legendarium. There's C.S. Lewis's works. There's let's see. There are a few others. You just have to notice them. There are some Christian characters in certain superhero franchises. There's C.S. Lewis made a space trilogy. I'm trying to recall. Oh yeah. Stalker. Made the film by Andrei Tarkovsky. Andrei Tarkovsky is a very orthodox filmmaker, and he made this very artistic kind of sci-fi movie, which got very, very philosophical. So there's another one. All right, The Seventh Seal. There's another one. Pilgrim's Progress. That's a given. There's lots of Wing Feather Saga. That's another recent one. And these science fiction ones. Oh yeah, Trigun. Yes. Just as well you brought up anime. I think Trigun is probably the most prominent anime out there that has Christian motifs in there, because the author of Trigun converted to Catholicism, and is one of the few converts to make major contributions to the anime industry, which is a great thing to have. It really much reflects in the setting, the characters, the scenarios. So, I suppose if you're looking for a sci-fi setting that's somewhat similar to Dune, I suppose you have Trigun, because that too is set in a desert planet, and there's the themes of like humanity, trying to do the best with the resources. So there's that. Okay, what else is there? Certain other characters that have gotten popular. Joshua Graham from Fallout New Vegas, Honest Hearts DLC. So there's that to take into consideration. I mean, he's a Mormon, but still, you take every consideration you can get. Okay. There's probably dozens of others at this point. I'm just trying to remember the ones at the top of my head. Can you think of anything? No, you're asking me. That's why you got me to do it. Right, never mind. Why am I asking that question?
well, I mean, it's fine. It's I was just I was like trying to think of a world that I could maybe build I could work off of with, but I don't know. Dune might not work for me. It might be a little bit too difficult for me to figure it out right now, but it's an option.
It is an option, but if you're gonna go for it, you need to get yourself familiar with the the kind of world building it has. It's very much power dominated. That's the characters are in it for power for the sake of it, and it's very very Machiavellian in its approach. Machiavelli was this philosopher who saw everything. Not that he always advocated for what he wrote, but he wrote stuff that viewed reality from a purely pragmatic basis, on the basis that rulers will sometimes have to do immoral things in order to benefit the greater goods, according to him. That kind of thing. That's the kind of approach that Dune takes. So you keep that in mind when it comes to Dune. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw the first movie technically, so I have some understanding, but um, but yeah, it's obviously deep. It's very deep. It also intrigues me, right? So
Oh yeah, it's very intriguing. And it'll reach out to a variety of people from different walks of life, no doubt. Yeah.
so I guess like Star Trek is, for what I've learned, basically it's like a very atheist based franchise. You heard about
Well,
that?
yeah. Who doesn't know Star Trek? Although, it's interesting. Even though, I mean, even though Gene Roddenberry was very much secular in his approach, not every contribution to Star Trek was innately secular. Like, for example, it was Leonard Nimoy who I think came from some kind of Jewish background. For the Vulcans, you know that the hand signal that he does, live long and in fact, why am I got the camera off? So basically, you know this sign, live long and prosper. Apparently, he got the inspiration for this hand gesture from some kind of Hebrew lettering, and it was based on some kind of Jewish greeting or something like that. And also, something interesting to note is that there's one episode of Star Trek in the original series when Captain Kirk and the crew come across an alternative version of Earth that was dominated by ancient Rome, and they find out that there's this underground religion that worships the sun, and they think, okay, what's going on here? The shenanigans happen, and they find that this religion is rising. They get back onto the Enterprise, and they think, what's going on here? What's with all this sun worship? And then Uhura brings about the revelation that, here's something I found out. When they said it's not the sun of the sky, they're referring to the Son of God, S-O-N. And so they realize this is an alternative Earth where Christianity was suppressed, and we're seeing it growing only now. And so Kirk is thinking, well, it'd be great to see it all again, eh? So there you go. Make of that as you will.
Oh, well, that was pretty intense.
Yeah. That was in the original series.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Other examples are there? You see, this is also going to make for intriguing conversation, even when we get to doing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Other examples, recent examples. Recent contributions. There was the Wingfeather Saga, which has been adapted by Angel Studios. Also, speaking of anime, Gabriel and the Guardians, an anime series which is being produced mainly by Angel Studios. They've got Johnny Yon Bosch of Trigun fame as the main character. So there is that. Okay, now I'm actively searching up. What other examples were there? Things are trying to come back to me. Yeah, I mean, there's the classics like the Writings of Van Helsing. There's Arthurian legends and things like that. Sometimes you'll find entertainment that can imply the value systems of Christianity. So there is that to take into consideration. Let's see, Chrono Crusade, Nadia, Secret of Blue Water. We've been watching that, intending to finish that. Wolf's Rain. I've yet to watch that one. Okay. Oh, well, we're mainly talking about fantasy and sci-fi. But I suppose we're talking about anime as well. Another prominent example. I'm surprised this didn't pop in my head earlier. Vinland Saga. You know Vinland Saga?
Oh yeah, I've heard of this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Viking epic. Somewhat kind of loosely adapts these legends of history, and yeah, say given the fact that it's European history, Christianity plays a very crucial role in the plot. Other Christian-oriented anime. There was this one I watched called Haibane Renmei, where these children go to this sort of purgatory-like place, and they go through this process of reconciling with what they did. Not that they get full. I think there's some kind of implied memory loss, and they never explicitly say, "Oh, we're in purgatory," but the way they talk about it, the way the setting is established, it very much implies that they've died, and this is them reconciling with what happened, and then it's the process of purification, as it were. Samurai Champloo, set during the Edo period of Japan, and one character is affiliated with someone who's went through Christian persecution during the time period. Let's see. There's Cowboy Bebop, not as explicit, but there's a lot of motifs and motifs in there, especially that once part in episode 5. Let's see. There was this popular anime series back in the heyday. I think it was made by the godfather of anime himself. It's called what was it called? Superbook. Yeah, it was Superbook. And in recent years, it's been adapted into a CGI series. And both series are mainly aimed for children.
You said Superbook?
Yes, Superbook. Yes.
I think I might have seen a couple episodes of that.
Yeah, you might have seen stuff like that online. So if you go to the Superbook channel, you'll notice that some of it is the more modernized CGI stuff, but then other times you'll see old-fashioned anime. You think, how can that be? Because believe it or not, the CGI kids show took inspiration from the anime show. Funny how that works, eh?
So I might be thinking of a different one. Is that like where like they went back to to revisit like Bible times, like back?
Yes, yes, that is the one. Yes.
Okay. I think I've seen a couple of.
Precisely. Pardon me.
Yeah.
I suppose if anything else, we can refer to certain characters who affiliate with Christianity within different forms of media. I've already mentioned Joshua Graham, even though he's Mormon. There's Superman, what I remember. Of course, it very much depends on who's writing it, mind you, but there's also Superman. There's also Batman, depicted praying in one of the older comics. There was Spider-Man, especially with the influence of Aunt May. Daredevil, that's a given. That he's been a Catholic in every iteration of his character. There was, let's see if I remember this correctly. Oh yes, Wolverine in the X-Men, that's right. And Nightcrawler, that's right. Especially Nightcrawler, yes. It was Nightcrawler who converted Wolverine. Yes. Alright, I have the means to look them up, but for some reason I'm trying to rely on my own memory all of the time. Um, okay, so Spider-Man. Uh, oh yeah, Black Widow. Black Widow has got an Orthodox background, given that she's Russian. That's right.
Okay, that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And again, sorry.
Oh, I guess I would also say that like it's not like in order to enjoy something, it's not like it has to necessarily have to have like a religious overtone or have to push religion, but it's
Yeah,
definitely like to.
yeah. Um, and by that standard, there's plenty of entertainment out there that's not overtly religious, but certainly has a lot of the same kind of value systems buried underneath. There was Violet Evergarden, one of my favorite shows. One of my favorite anime shows is kind of a bit light science fantasy show set in a fictional country, and it features someone who is a child soldier, and pretty much for the majority of her life, suddenly the war is over and she has to settle back into society. How does she do that? It's a story about her learning what it means to love, basically. Um, Another favorite anime series of mine. This is my all-time favorites series. It would have to be Monster. Ever heard of Monster? I'll take that as a no. So what was that?
It might not really have been from America either.
Sorry, what were you saying?
It might not really have been from like America.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Monster is this psychological thriller manga series made by Naoki Urasawa. It was adapted into an anime around 2003, 2004. Very much an overlooked series, but basically there's so Christian virtues in there about the worth of human life. It's done from a very a character who's very egalitarian in his approach. And the main villain of the story is frequently compared to the Antichrist, to such an extent that the beginning of the story literally opens up with a Bible verse describing the beast in Revelation.
Oh, that's pretty deep.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, um, yeah. Anime can be dark.
Absolutely, and that's why people are gravitated towards it, because it delves into the kind of subject matter that most, not all, but most Western animation has been hesitant to delve into.
Okay. Okay. Like here's an interesting question then. So why do you think that people like dark content and that kind of stuff?
I suppose it depends on what you mean by dark content. I think what people are really looking for is mature content, the kind of content that's not afraid to delve into a variety of different content concepts, and do it in a specific manner that will enlighten people about many things regarding the human condition, about things regarding the environment and whatnot. Now, something can be light-hearted and mature, like Pixar's Up. Something can be dark and mature. Something can be dark and immature. Because oh yeah, there's there could be a lot of media out there like I'd probably say like the recent Devil May Cry show, or like the Shadow the Hedgehog game, and probably more within that gets excessive with like oh, these characters, they're cussing, oh, so much violence on screen, oh, I'm so edgy, look at my emo haircut, I'm an adult, oh, I'm so edgy. It's rather embarrassing in hindsight. So I mean, You can have something that's dark, but that's not automatically going to make it a mature thing.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, like stuff like I know, like there's like the Witcher, for example. I'm trying to think of some other like like it's not necessarily dark, but it's like very gray and it's probably very adult and it's kind of like
Yeah,
brutal.
yeah.
I'm
There has
trying to think of other ideas too. Yeah.
I suppose dark and theme. Yeah, I suppose what gravitates people towards the kind of media is that it gives them stakes and a sense of unpredictability when it comes to those stories. It's because we've gotten to a state where we're so used to um, a hero's journey and other kind of stories similar to that. I think people have gravitated toward, and there could be different factors, but I think people have latched onto some of these dark fantasy shows because it offers something a bit more unpredictable. And I think the way those shows are displayed seems to really speak to them because it gives them a sense of relatability of characters who don't always make the right decision and characters things like that. I suppose they latch onto them because there's a sense of relatability to them. But of course, even then, you have to take into consideration whether or not it's written well. Like for example, I recently finished watching the Game of Thrones series. That is a series I would not wholeheartedly endorse, but I can understand why people liked it. But everyone unanimously agrees the last season sucks because the writing was just so terrible. I suppose now that I bring that up, I suppose what these kind of show, The Witcher and Game of Thrones teaches us is that they offer us different scenarios where villains aren't always pure evil. They can have occasional spurts of honor and decency, which is pretty much resonant with real life, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the key takeaway. There's they tend to offer more nuanced characters, but here's the thing. I think a lot of people don't really realize is that you can have nuanced characters and still have a clearly defined definition of right and wrong. That is still very much possible. You just need good writing talent. That's all. Like I think entertainment like Monster, Trigun, and certainly Lord of the Rings and a number of other media I could mention has a very clear definition of what's right and what's wrong, and still offer nuanced characters. Like for example, Vash the Stampede in the Trigun series. He's obviously the good guy because he wants everybody to live. He wants the good people and the bad people to just get along. His primary motif is love and peace. He's an expert gunslinger, but he's a pacifist. He never kills anybody. He has creative ways to try to get people to get along. But the main conflict in the series is that his pacifism is challenged. It's really put to the test. The character Wolfwood acts as a friend as well as a foil to him. He has no bother like killing people out of necessity, but obviously that clashes with Vash, and so the question arises: is it okay to kill someone if all they're going to do is cause further harm to other people? So a conflict arises, and so you get a situation where, yeah, there's obviously a clear line between good and evil. You ideally should not be killing other people, but at the same time, it's the kind of topic where you can't really have a silver bullet answer. You gotta actually get into the nuance of it and find a more mature answer to get through that. And I think if we had more entertainment like that, I think that would be very beneficial for us.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I like what you said about the whole like you need good writing. I think that's what
Yeah.
people are to.
Yeah. Precisely.
Like
When?
I would rather watch. I'd rather read or watch something that's well written over something that's not almost any time. So
Yeah, exactly.